Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the 2 Minutes to Go podcast. I'm your host, Darien Jackson.
I'm Jax.
And I'm Jalen.
And we coming back at y'all with another one. As of right now, the league is getting torn up right now in the playoffs. Unfortunately for us, the Cavs missed the playoffs. Any thoughts on how that game went?
Just very disappointing. Very disappointing. It was hard to watch at the end.
It was
Very sad after everything that happened this year. It just ended like that so abruptly, and it sucked.
Felt that.
Yeah, I didn't really think the Cavs were gonna make the playoffs, but it kind of gave me a false hope. Like towards the end of the game, I was like, dang, I was like, we could really do this. When I saw Laurie Markkinen go on that stretch, I'm like, oh my god, I was like, we're about to actually do this. But the biggest thing was JB Bickerstaff. He does not know how to rotate players in and out of the game. Like, for example, taking Darius Garland out of the game when Trae Young subs in the game. You're leaving us on the floor with no scoring guards. Like, what are you doing? And then another thing, not rotating Kevin Love into the game more. He only played like 12 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Like, when you have an experienced playoff person, like he is, like the play is basically a playoff game if you think about it.
Loki.
Kevin Love is like the most experienced person you have on your team, and you barely play him. Like, that's wrong. I don't think
And
it should happen like that.
He's a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year, so why isn't he getting? If he's been that good all year, then why is he not playing in the biggest game of your season?
So do you want to call it bad coaching, or do you want to say, like, is that why we lost, or do you want to go with maybe we just
I
had
think
an off night though?
I would say there's a
No,
little bit of bad
they're too
everything.
young. I think they're too young.
I think we just wasn't ready for the pressure yet.
But that's why you need to play Kevin Love more.
It was just bad decisions in game too. Like there was a lot of plays where they could have won something different, but I feel like they come through the pressure in the playoffs. You react too fast instead of analyzing what's happening on the floor.
Mm.
You make a decision too abruptly, and then you're like, oh, then you turn the ball over or you shoot the shot that you shouldn't have took. Cares will hurt. But
And he actually had a good game though. He actually really did have a good game.
yeah, towards the end of it, he started having a good game. But like starting out,
Him and Garland had 5 dimes apiece in the first half throwing lobs. He was really facilitating though.
he was.
I would say like the only way we were supposed to win that game, I say Caris LeVert had to play well, which he did. Not to mention that Laurie Markkinen playing the way he played, especially shooting the ball well on the perimeter, which means that as long as Garland was gonna play well, Mobley, Jared Allen played regardless. Because I mean, I would have played too. I mean, this your last game of the season potentially. You don't want to be like, I could have probably helped my team if we lose. So if you're gonna lose, at least you can say you tried.
Yeah, I want to say, even though he did look injured when he was playing,
Oh, for
but
sure.
I applaud him for playing because I would have had a guilty conscience of me not being able to play, knowing that I could play if they would have lost without him, which they would have. But at least now he probably doesn't feel as guilty. He's like, okay, I gave it my all. He's like, I didn't sit.
He had some buckets though.
He
He
did.
did have some buckets. He did. I think he probably did about 10 or 12. Like I know that
12.
hand. Yeah, I'm gonna say I know that hand was hurting for real. But I am kind of salty though, because I really did have them like making it. But I know for a
You had
fact
them beating the Heat in the first round. In the
they was supposed to make it. They was supposed to make it though. Like you gotta watch the last episode to really like hear. Like it sounded like perfect. Like big man wise, like we was finna do some damage for real.
I didn't even have them making the playoffs. Like, wish I was here to talk about it because I didn't have them making the playoffs. I would have been like, no. Like,
No,
they would have got swept by the Heat.
No, I don't think it would have been swept by the Heat. Like the numbers all season long, I think we won the series 3-1 when we played them.
But that's not playoffs.
But think about it, we won hurt and we won healthy. But I mean, you're right, it's not the playoffs. They got more playoff experience than obviously this team do. But I know for a fact if we were 100% healthy, we wouldn't even have been in the playing period. We would have been a solid, I'd probably say healthy all year.
The Raptors are 5 seed.
No, I think we would have made 5.
Yeah.
I think it would have been 5 for completely healthy, like all season 5.
I can't argue with that. I'd say 6 or 7. It's around there, but I feel like we'd be near a playoff team. We'd be near a play-in team. So I feel like there's a chance we could be a play-in team. There's a chance we wouldn't. So we'd be one spot away from we'd be in play-in or not. I mean, if that makes sense. It does
Listen,
not make sense.
the fact that you didn't even have the Cavs in the plan, like, kind of hurts a little bit. Like, what was your bracket?
All right, so yeah, So
He been waiting for this.
yeah, so this is going back to the play-in. So like, I had obviously the Hawks beating the Hornets, then the Hawks.
Oh
beating
yeah,
the
that
Hornets.
was kind of a given.
But so the only way I had the Cavs making the playoffs was if the Hornets beat the Hawks, because I knew that was the team that we could beat. I was like, Trae Young in the playoffs is unbelievable. I was like, he's gonna torch us.
That 32 in the second half was vicious.
It was.
Vicious.
Not against the Heat though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Then but no, he only had 24.
Shot
But
1 for 12.
in the first half though,
They was
No, I'm saying
they was bullying him though. They was
he
bullying
shot 1
him
for
though.
12 and he had 8 points the whole
yeah,
game.
he started that first game off like no, because he was 3 for 11 with us. He was only 1 for 9 in the first half against the Heat and finishes the game at 8 for 24. But like
No, he was 1 for 12 the whole game. Had 8 points. He didn't do anything.
the playing game.
No, the game against the Heat. Like the first
Oh, you
round.
talking about the first round?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you was talking about like in Charlotte.
Man, they was bullying him though, for real. Like Kyle Lowry should have got ejected.
I saw that, yeah.
He tried to jaw him. I was like,
They were like,
damn.
if Grayson Allen did this, they would have like.
Yeah, there would have been like a war, there would have been an uproar on Twitter.
Him and Jimmy Butler was gonna get active early too.
Yeah.
Now, but here's my bracket. I'm gonna start with the East. So I got Miami beating Atlanta in 5. I feel like Atlanta will get 1 at home. Just, I don't know. Trae Young at home in the play. I feel like he feeds off that home energy. He'll get 1. He'll get 1 win. Then I got Philadelphia in 5 as well.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I want Toronto to win though. I like to see younger teams or like underdogs win.
I don't like either of those teams. They both kind of piss me off.
And then I got Milwaukee in 6.
I got them at 4.
Dang, really?
I think I had him at 5 because I didn't want to disrespect DeMar's ability.
And then I got Brooklyn in 7.
Yeah,
beating the
I have that
Celtics.
too.
I had Brooklyn at
but-
6.
Last game was.
We gonna get into that. Continue your bracket.
Let me just say this: if LeBron played like KD did in any game, all of the media would be destroying
That is very true.
LeBron's name.
And then
Destroying.
got Suns beating the Pelicans in 4.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Yeah.
I got Dallas beating Utah in 7.
Okay.
See, I think we had Dallas beating them in like 6, but I forgot Luka was hurt. I forgot to bring that up that he was hurt and he couldn't play the first 2 games. He might not even.
Well, at the time last week though, he was only questionable for game 1, and then he was sitting out, and then up until yesterday, he was unlikely for game 2. So
Then I got Golden State beating Denver in 6.
It's looking like 4.
Yeah. Then I got Minnesota winning in 7 against the Grizzlies.
now that's not a series we had to take. That's not a bad pick though, because I could get it if you want to go by size and athleticism.
It's a pretty very even series.
It's
for
gonna be a really good
2-7
first round.
matchup. It's like the.
It's like the Celtics and the Brooklyn, like those are both 2-7 matchups. Like those aren't really real 2-7s. Like Brooklyn is not a 7, and we know they're not a 7, but we know the struggles they've had all season.
And then in the semi-conference finals for the East, I got Brooklyn beating Milwaukee in 6.
Facts.
That's a joke.
Don't listen to
That's
him.
just the
Don't
joke.
listen to him.
Spoiler: Brooklyn's winning the whole thing. And then
Nah, that's
That's what I'm talking about.
2 guys carrying the whole team. They're gonna be exhausted.
And then
That's all right.
I got Philly beating Miami in 5.
I'd say like 6.
Yeah, I think
5 or 6.
Philly in 6 for sure.
And then it'll be Brooklyn beating 76ers in 6. That's if Ben Simmons plays.
Well,
too.
Milwaukee will beat the 76ers in like 5. So yeah,
Yeah, okay, whatever.
easily.
And then Phoenix, I think Phoenix sweeps Dallas.
Luka's good enough to get
5.
1 game. I think.
Yeah, man. Especially if Jalen Brunson.
I mean,
plays
if
the
you
way he
think-
played before.
If you think Trae Young could steal one from the Heat, I think Luka could take one from the Suns.
The Suns and the Heat are not even in the same universe.
I
though.
still think Luka, he'll be able to take one.
And then I got Golden State beating Minnesota in 5.
Yeah, because he don't got Grizzlies. Yeah, he got Grizzlies already losing. So
And
we
then-
haven't seen it.
And then Golden State versus Suns. I got Golden State winning in 7. And then I have Nets in 6 beating Golden State in the finals.
Nets and what?
Nets in
Alright.
6.
Okay. That's not a. I don't think that's a bad bracket because honestly, I feel like The whole Toronto.
I wish I didn't say the Grizzlies would make the finals because it's just not realistic.
You said the Grizzlies.
That's not. But they. But they're. They
I really
the conference finals.
I really think Golden State's gonna make it now. I think Golden State will.
Well, think about it though. It's a playoff. You know, we can get into all the playoff games talking. So far, Steph Curry has came off the bench, dropped what 30 in both games plus.
He dropped 34 last night,
night,
and then he dropped like 16 the other night. It was something like that.
Jordan Poole comes out hot in the first game with his
59 points in his first 2 games.
Yeah, which is like it's legendary. Like you understand, like he was gonna be a great player, a great shooter. You see like the teammates that he has, and you see the organization that he's a part of. So he's obviously gonna be a huge X factor in their success. That's also like me saying like, who else did I say was gonna be a big X factor for? Who else played really well? Like Jalen Brunson playing well in the backcourt right now. When Luka come back, and as long as he has like, he don't got to drop no 40 piece, but as long as he's playing decent, as long as he's playing good, like you know, a couple like 20 balls here and there, like that could be an X factor for real. Minnesota, I ain't gonna lie, Minnesota against Grizzlies was like
My boy Ant-Man tough. He like Michael Jordan for real.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay.
He on his Michael Jordan stuff in the playoffs.
Hey, I guarantee you, if Anthony Edwards was here in an interview, he'd say that he would be Michael Jordan.
He would.
Let's say
That's who he is.
And you know what's crazy though? That man believe he's the best player to touch a basketball. But I can't argue with him because like he really do be hooping. Not saying that he's not, but his confidence is so crazy. It's like he don't think nobody could, you know what I'm saying, beat them.
Yeah.
And the fact that he plays good, Karl Anthony Towns plays good, and D'Lo plays good, like that's honestly a nice big three. That's not even like a bad big three. That's like all three, like you got 2 players in like the prime of their careers, and then you got a young, Ant-Man the second year player.
Just
So,
second year.
Hey,
And then Pat Bev changed the way that whole team is.
play changes defensively. Oh, it's ridiculous.
They don't even care. Like they just say whatever they want. They do whatever they want.
He's got cat talking reckless.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you don't expect that from Karl Anthony Towns. And then now this year he's talking crazy.
But not to mention talking about the guys who's out here putting in work. So you got no Luka, but it's no problem. Brunson out here carrying the team. You think?
I mean, Maxi Kleber had 25 yesterday.
That's tough. That's tough. So what you feeling about Utah though? Because I think you didn't have Utah coming out the first round anyway.
No.
But I don't think I did either because I think I assumed that the way that
We said they were gonna lose and then blow the team up. Like get rid of Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert.
Donovan Mitchell's going to the Heat.
Donovan Mitchell.
You know what?
He
waited them.
He does
I would not be mad.
like pass the ball at all. He just shot 13 for 30 yesterday. In the first game, he put up like 30 shots also.
Yeah, he's one of the most selfish players.
He is.
Like, I understand why him and Rudy Gobert don't get along, and people like. I feel like Rudy Gobert gets so much hate.
I think Rudy Gobert is overrated, but I mean,
He's overrated.
give him the ball, like in the
paint.
He'll have like a guard on him, and Donovan Mitchell still doesn't even get him the
I
ball.
think he only had like. What did he have yesterday? It wasn't a lot.
12. I think.
Yeah, like bro, pass.
He's
pass
7'2".
7-2. That's like
They just turn around and
just drop it in
lay it
there.
up. But they just like hate each other. It's like
I don't know if it.
they need to get rid of one of them, and it's probably gonna be Donovan Mitchell because Rudy Gobert's contract is terrible. Like no team's gonna want.
No, I don't want to say that. Like if Rudy Gobert's on the market, someone's gonna want that.
I don't know.
Regardless,
his contract
though.
is like
You're not gonna want to pay that much for him.
they would have to give up like either a really good player who's making like a max contract salary right now, or like 3 pretty good like rotational players to get him and like some picks. And I don't know what team is gonna want to do that. Like,
Well,
because Rudy Gobert, he's like, how old is Rudy Gobert? Like 30, like 29.
I think he's like late 20s, early 30s.
yeah.
What team is gonna want to give up all that stuff just to get a 30-year-old Rudy Gobert that just sits in the paint?
Hey, but you might give up what 23-year-old Donovan Mitchell, 24-year-old Donovan Mitchell.
I mean,
Young talent. I
they
mean,
might
regardless,
have to
though,
because nobody's gonna want Rudy Gobert.
But then that's gonna be
to
slow
pay
in the
that money,
backcourt.
pay
That's
that
gonna be-
contract.
That's gonna be slow in the backcourt. Not saying that they don't have other guards like like Jordan Clarkson and Mike Conley and you know what I'm saying. So they got like a playmaker and they still got a shooter. I mean, unless you want to give Donovan Mitchell, you just gonna probably move Jordan Clarkson up to the starting two. But Jordan Clarkson, if you already know he's a volume shooter, he's just gonna get just as much more shots. Which means a player like him, I don't want to say like he always like streaky, but like he
they'll
can
get
up
something
there.
in return for Donovan Mitchell if they traded him.
They need a really solid player.
They would get something. 'Cause,
They need somebody else there for sure.
and I think they would get that because he's worth it. Like when if he passes the ball on his new team, because he's just taking too many shots right now.
Unless he's trying to just get out of there.
He
and
had
silence him,
34 points on 30 shots. I mean, that's not that good.
I mean,
You shrugged your shoulders like, that's not bad.
no,
That's bad.
I was gonna say like Kyrie got 39 on maybe 20 shots.
Not even if that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was about to be like, yeah, like that's a lot of
This is
shots.
the other thing. People were having issues with Kyrie like flipping off the fans and everything. I don't see what the big deal. It's not like he's like going into the crowd like they were like
St. Malice in the Palace.
yeah, they were like,
They
oh,
beat
it's
on
so like inappropriate and everything. Like, you know what those fans are probably saying to him? Like,
No, they be talking crazy.
and then the other thing, they're like, he's a professional athlete. He should know that. He should just let his game do the talking. I was like, what
He can't
professional
go there.
athlete doesn't like
And-
respond to people? Like,
No.
they all do it.
And
like,
it's crazy though too because
slipping off a fan is not that big of a deal. There's so much worse things he could have done than.
they get mad either way you do it though.
That is
Like,
facts. He's gonna get
It's
he
so
gonna get that
dumb.
money in the mail, and I don't even be thinking to be that. It's the fact that's like, just take him. Not Kyrie Irving could be a retired player, and they would still talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was already a player. They talk about older players all the time, regardless. But the fact that he's there, it's like, no, this is a guy who plays basketball.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
like
somebody
he's
that you
getting paid
came
millions
to
of
watch,
dollars.
to play basketball. And then if y'all over there talking crazy, like, don't get it twisted, yes, there's like 25,000 fans, but do you see the way his career ended in Boston? Like, his 2 years there, like, first year was good, but the way it ended after the second year wasn't the best. And he knows that. And then, he said he went on record, he talked to Tatum and said that he wished things would be different. Obviously, there's some things you can't take back, it's in the past, it's whatever. But every time you come in there, you're all yelling, F Kyrie,
They're probably
booing
saying,
him,
who knows what
booing
the heck?
him.
It's
Yeah,
Boston
I was like,
sports
Boston is a
fans.
racist
Yes,
fan
Boston,
base.
yeah.
Exactly. That's what me and my friend
And-
were saying. Like,
It's like,
but then like,
you yelling at him crazy, and he's over there doing like the
yeah, that was
because-
so funny.
and
I think
really-
it makes it more entertaining.
Yeah, like
I
that's more
want him to
entertaining,
do
but it's
that.
like you do understand, like the minute y'all started doing that, he had 15 and a half, and he gave y'all he ended the game with 39.
39, yeah.
So he gave y'all like 24
This
points.
is the thing, like, yes, they lost, so it kind of does look bad.
They
but like,
lost
still, it's
on
not.
the
It wasn't
mark.
his fault. It wasn't
No.
even his fault.
It was the fact
It was
that
KD's fault. They
KD
lost.
was looking this way.
That
Jason
is the
Tatum ran
defense.
behind
That dude,
him.
Jason Tatum was locking KD up. KD could not score. He was in his grill every play. KD, he was lost.
I'm not gonna lie.
I've never seen KD like that. Like, that
I
was
watched that
crazy.
game. I watched that game start to finish. Kevin Durant did finish with 6 turnovers. Whatever. He also shot the ball. I think he was only 2 for 11 after the first half. Shot it obviously poorly. Couldn't get a rhythm. He was turning the ball over. Not to mention that Celtics team played them kind of aggressive, really aggressive in the beginning. Brooklyn just played sloppy all in all, but to only never be out of the game. Like Brooklyn was never out of the game.
No.
Like
Well, they're
at all.
they're actually like never out of the game until there's like, unless it's like 3 minutes left and they're down by like 25.
Now, granted, that last possession they needed a bucket, but the fact that they didn't get one and they weren't calling a timeout, like Celtics weren't calling one. I'm sitting there like, bet they locked him up,
When
and the
Marcus-
fact that it was the two people that jumped at Marcus
Yeah,
Smart.
when
And-
Marcus Smart had the ball at 3 seconds left, I was like, oh, the Celtics lost. Like, he ain't making this.
No,
Then
I
he
knew
threw
it
one
was
past
the
the
minute
Tatum.
he spun off of
Yeah.
Kyrie.
Oh, when he did that, I was like, yeah, it's him.
I was sick.
But back to the Kyrie thing, they're like, he's getting paid millions of dollars just to play basketball. He shouldn't be doing this stuff. Like, he's still a human being. Like,
Bro, like yes, everybody has
that affects
feelings.
anybody.
And people get mad though, like, because LeBron, he won't really talk back. He'll just be like, he'll like do something else and he'll be like, oh, and they're like, you're soft. Just talk back to him.
Exactly.
So
Man,
there's
LeBron's too
no
old for that, man.
He
He's
is.
gonna mess up his money
No,
yelling at
one
an
time-
athlete.
one
there's
time-
no other way you can do it for real though. Like, remember somebody said that they wish this kid got in a car accident. He
Yeah.
died. And then he's like, nah, get him out of here. He
Yeah.
doesn't even talk back to them. He's like, nah, they gotta get out. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh, you're soft. Just talk back
Yeah,
to him. Like,
come on.
What you want to do?
That's terrible. The only other time I've heard LeBron talk trash was when like some fan was like, LeBron, where's Kyrie? He's like, at your mama's house.
Hey, no, for real, cause think about it. You flick somebody off, Kyrie about to get like a 20 grand fine.
He
You know what I'm
did it
saying?
multiple times.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, think about that though.
But I
LeBron.
hope he keeps doing it. Like it makes the game more entertaining. Like,
That is very true, but if you
And
know
if-
for a fact you get penalized though,
Yeah.
like don't get twisted.
And
Like
if
you get fined for just having a tech, let alone like if I'm yelling at a fan or I'm cussing out a fan, 25 grand coming out of my pocket. I don't care if I am $1 million. 25 grand is 25 grand. Like I want that. Think about being retired. Like man, you know I lost like
the other
$5
thing
million.
is, if they had won that game, everybody would have probably been like, oh, Kyrie's crazy for doing this. Like, this is so this is dope. Like, they would be like, yeah, they'd like.
I wonder if he ate before the game.
They'd be praising him like if
don't-
they won and he did it. But
It don't matter
because,
though.
Yeah, it's
Kyrie
just-
Kyrie about to give the Celtics like you thought
Now,
that 39.
KD, since
saw
he
the
played
bad,
so bad, he's gonna come out. It's just like Trae Young. Trae Young will come out.
Oh, that bounce back game
Yeah,
is
they'll-
gonna be ridiculous.
They'll both be hot.
Like, I need Kyrie to play very well, so I'm thinking about buying a ticket and I'm gonna go flip him off. You know? I'm gonna call him some names, get in his head, so that way he just dropped 50, and then he like, you know, like I did it on purpose, man.
I wanted to see that.
That's actually a good idea.
I feel like that would only be like you gonna fly to Boston or Brooklyn.
I want to go to Boston. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel you. He said I don't want to go to Boston.
yeah, Brooklyn, you know. Then I'm like just doing it at home, like, hey, Kyrie, your haters talking with you, and then he's my favorite player.
And no, that's facts, man. That man is really like my favorite player too. But let's switch the gears real fast. It's about to be game 2. Memphis is down game 1 right now. They bounce back because they can't go down 0-2 at home with home court. You think they?
Nah, I think Memphis will win this game.
I don't think so. John Morant, he doing too much talking on Twitter and everything.
He's not even doing it.
No,
What
he
did he
is.
do?
I ain't seen it.
What did he do?
I think I'm gonna pull up some tweets real quick. Y'all, but
The last tweet I saw he tweeted was Jalen Brunson is hooping. That's the last thing I saw him tweet.
I seen them just talking. Everybody was just talking that Kyrie sweat like bro.
Oh, he
It's
did
crazy.
He posted on Instagram this morning. It was a picture of him, and then it was like a Michael Jordan video from The Last Dance.
he's like took losses because I wanted to see other MFs win, charge to the game, blah blah blah. He's just talking. I don't know. Okay, look.
What does the whole Timberwolves team do? They just talk.
Nah, see, John Morant ain't built like that.
What do you
What are
mean?
you
John
talking
Morant's
about?
the best player on the court. He's better than everybody. He's the best player.
He's the best player on that floor.
Yes, he is.
On his own team, yeah.
No, on
No,
both
like
teams.
on the floor.
No.
Yes.
So you tell me out of all them players that you're not taking John Morant?
Yeah, if you're starting a team,
You're not taking John Morant? You're not taking John Morant.
over John Morant.
Yeah,
I can
Edwards.
see why you want to, but no. I'm
feel like-
not gonna do that.
No, but
You're
John
gonna
Morant
get
he's a
scored.
great player. But
Facts.
Anthony Edwards, he's more well rounded. I feel like.
I mean, this isn't excluding the 4-inch difference. That man right there got bounced. John Morant got bounced. He's a scorer. He's a playmaker. He plays
He
defense.
could be Bugs Bunny for all I care.
I love Bugs Bunny.
But I don't know. But I don't think Grizzlies win this game. I think they pick up a game on the road. I don't think they pick up one on because I got them losing in 5.
Oh, so this is just your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I got them losing in 5. So I don't think I think they lose 2 at home. They pick up 1 on the road, and then that's it.
And they lose game 5 on their home court.
Yeah.
No, I say Grizzlies in 6. They're gonna get this one tonight. They're gonna take one on the road.
When I had it at 7, I'm slow.
Yeah, I know. I was
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I was like, I don't remember. You said 5. I was like,
I wasn't even gonna say anything.
My apologies.
so which one is it? 7 or 5?
7.
Are you sure it wasn't 4?
So it's 7. Now it's 7.
It's 7, yeah. They're still
So
not-
do they win tonight or no?
They're winning tonight. I don't see them losing back.
So they're gonna win.
They'll win 2. They're gonna win. Lose this.
they'll win 3 of like the next. No. You said it's
Jalen, your math
in
ain't that
7.
lovely, dog.
It's in 7. They lose tonight. They're
Yeah.
gonna win 3 of the next 4 games. And you're telling me
No, listen. Okay.
then the Grizzlies would definitely win that.
So
And they would be on home court. If it went to 7 and the Timberwolves win tonight and the Grizzlies win 3 of the next 4 games, they would have some momentum and they would be on their home floor for a game 7.
I don't think they win.
You didn't think about this all the way through.
I did not, but I don't think
No, bro. That's so invalid.
Yeah, just disregard what I'm saying.
He said so. Yeah, they're gonna just go up 0-2 and then lose the next 3 games. Just for them.
No, not the next 3. They would lose
3 of the next 4 games just
Yeah.
for them to run into game 7.
Yeah, going to game 7 in
And
Memphis
then win.
with Memphis having.
Man, Moneybag Yo about to make a rap song before the game. Man, he ain't even about to lose back. I should put money on
I mean, it
Moneybag.
could happen, but logically, it's just like I highly doubt that would happen.
We'll see. NBA is crazy.
It is crazy.
Anything can happen. I mean, it is the playoffs. Technically, everybody's season starts over regardless of the seeding. But there's certain people that you know that's just like, it's not just gonna make it though. But I feel like these are like the big ones that I really want to see. Like, I really want to see Memphis give up.
Yeah, I think the Warriors series is already over. Like,
I think the most entertaining series on both sides of the East and the West
Celtics
side will be the Celtics in Brooklyn. And then it would be Memphis and the Timberwolves. I think that those are like 2 well-matched first-rounded teams. Like, I don't see like, that Giannis and Bulls game 1, Giannis should have fouled out. That over the back that they didn't call.
You know, over the back.
You didn't think that was an over the back call?
I mean, it's Giannis, so they're not gonna get. It's like if it was LeBron. They
Like, he jumped on bro's back and he had 5 fouls, and they called it on was Patrick Williams. Yeah, they called it
How
on
much time was
Williams.
left?
2.5 minutes.
NBA.
And they were down
by like
one.
the Bucks. They only have by 1.
Did you not? Yeah, they only lost by
I
like
watched
3
the
points.
end of the. I just can't remember.
They only lost by like 3 points, but they
They
were
lost
only
by
down
like
like 7. But they were only down 1 at that time.
Yeah, well, DeMar DeRozan shot 6 for 25, so
Yeah.
Giannis shut him down.
Hey, what did you expect?
That's exactly what I
I'm about to say,
expected. That's
like-
why I said the Bucks would sweep them.
I still feel bad though, because I really think the Bulls.
No,
had
the
such
Bulls.
a-
If the Bulls were healthy, it'd be like a 7-game series,
I see
6-game
that.
series. Because they wouldn't even be in that position. They'd be a top 4 seed, I think.
They probably would have. They would have probably been stuck at 3.
But it just sucks that all the injuries they had and everything, and Zach LaVine's still not 100% healthy. They're missing Lonzo, so they're basically kind of relying on DeMar
Listen,
DeRozan and
Bucks.
Caruso.
The Bucks got matched up with a hurt team again. They finna breeze by the Bulls.
Easily.
Yeah.
And they'll get their rest in, get ready for the winner of the Celtics and the Nets.
Still
The
hoping
Nets.
the Nets.
No,
The
not the
Nets.
winner of the Celtics and Nets.
Dude, that series is gonna be so good. Like that series is going 7.
That series about to be great.
It's gonna be.
That
I
series-
really don't. I think the Nets will win, but I don't like.
You want to see it go
Celtics.
7 games just cause?
I would just like this. Yeah, because it's a good series.
I
Like,
think it is a great.
that's not a
matchup.
first round series.
It shouldn't be.
No.
That's a second
That's like
round
a
conference
conference
finals
finals,
at
yeah.
best. But the Sixers, I think, is going to do it this year as far as making a deeper run. I think they make it out the second round this year.
Well, I hope so.
I
They
hope
traded
so.
away a lot to get dude who put up 14 points and 6 rebounds and 6 assists.
Hey, but who won yesterday though?
They did win.
Hey man, Tyrese Maxey
Maxey.
is a bucket.
He is.
He's literally like Doc Rivers really gave that man like, here the keys, fam. Go ahead and drive us to victory.
But not Toronto. I feel like they pick up a couple games here just because they're going back home.
Dival can't play.
Dival
Yeah.
can't play though.
See, they got like that little cheat code right there.
Sky Barnes didn't even play in game 2 because he was hurt. I don't know if he's able to play game 3 or 4.
I mean, so they're playing kind of hurt still, but like
They are.
they won 3 out of the 4 games in their season matchup. So it's like they know how to beat the Sixers.
That's before that 3 out of 4. That's before James Harden though. Like they didn't play all 4 of those games when they got James Harden.
It don't even matter for real. Like
It's like me saying I beat you with Jags, you come back with Johnny and play. But I didn't beat you with Johnny. I beat you with Jags.
It don't even matter. You got
It
Joel.
does matter.
Nah, James Harden. I feel like James Harden not gonna make a big impact until like he really needs to. Like I feel like right now he probably think like, oh yeah, round one we finna have this one.
As
in the
weird
bag.
as it is, I really just don't think. I think he just doesn't care. Like I don't know why. It seems like he just does not care about like anything.
You'd rather go on like dinner dates.
Yeah, he just literally just like
Buy man honey buns and donuts.
like the laziest player I've ever seen. Like I don't know what. I think he's just like exhausted still from Houston. Like
I was still, but I was
doing
still
all
have,
that, but
Probably. Well, they put him through hell.
I'm about to say what James Harden what 31,
somewhere around there.
31 maybe 30. Yeah, he might be like 31. Joel Embiid is in his prime. Maxi's getting buckets, and you still got Tobias Harris. You got good wing shooters and like Danny Green. So it's like,
But
I feel like he
it's
doesn't-
so mid.
but like think about it though. He's literally the fourth option, and like you said, it's not a bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's not a bad fourth
He's
option at
smart.
all though.
I don't know. Something about Tobias Harris just.
It's like you don't really have to. I don't think James Harden needs to go hard, and I think he
He's
knows
gonna
that.
need to.
For them to win, if they want to
If
win
they
a
want-
title,
yeah.
he has to be 100%. But I don't think he's given like 100%. If that makes sense, like he's giving 100%, but not giving 100%.
No,
like
he's not.
he's just playing the one. He's like,
just like
let Joel
You
Embiid.
watch him play. It's just like
He's not rushing.
it's just yeah.
It's like he letting the game kind of really come to him. Like he's just like, Joel, get yours. Tyrese, you young. You got all the energy in the world right now. Like, get your buckets. Like,
I mean, I guess it's working, but
I do got
It's
a question
working.
for y'all though. So, if the Nets and the 76ers end up meeting up, do you think Ben Simmons plays? Because he projected to come back.
he's supposed to
for
come
game
back
four.
game
But
4. Yeah,
I don't. Do you think he'll play in this against the 76ers though, or you think he'll?
I think he would.
I think he
Why
would
wouldn't
have
he?
to.
If he didn't, he would look like the biggest.
That's what I'm thinking though.
Dude.
That's what I'm thinking
If
though.
we gonna keep it a stack, he gonna look like a hoe.
Yeah.
like flat out, like bro, you gotta play.
Yeah.
Cause who wouldn't want to see? Like I know, like despite the whole James Harden and Brooklyn thing, cause if you really think about it, Brooklyn played better
He
without
had
Harden.
to play. He had to.
Like you know for a fact, Kyrie gonna look at Harden.
But
like,
I really-
I'm finna cook you.
I really don't think he's gonna like. At least in the first series he plays, I don't think he's gonna make that big of like a difference. Everybody's saying he's gonna like change.
He'll be on like a minute restriction. For
Yeah, he'd be on a minute restriction. He hasn't played NBA basketball
Yeah.
like over like a year, and they're like, oh, his defense like it's gonna take a little longer for you
Last
to
time he
get
played
back in
was
the
when
swing of things. Like,
Last time he played was when he sold in the playoffs like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
and they're like, oh, we don't have to worry. Like, he's gonna be fine. No, it's not. It's not that easy to just like come back and be. I don't know. I just don't see him making that big of an impact, especially with his minute restriction, where they said he was going to play like 10 minutes a game. Like that, he's not. It's not.
10 minutes a game ain't worth it, my boy.
That's Kevin Love.
If you,
You
if
see
you're
what
not,
happens to the cat.
hey, if you're not,
Kevin Love can score.
if
so.
you're not getting at least 20, then I feel like it's pointless for you to come back.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, if
Oh,
you're not
he's
getting,
not-
He's not. There's no way he puts up 20.
no, I'm
He's like
saying
20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. I thought you
Yeah.
said points. I was like, he's
Nah.
not gonna get 20.
Nah, I'm saying like if there's no point in you playing if you're gonna only be able to play for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you might as well just keep playing Dragic.
So what you gonna do? Play 2 to 3 minutes a quarter?
Basically.
Just get his feet wet. I guess.
Hey, Kyrie, you need a breather? Not a breather, a breather. Like he's like, I got 3 minutes right here, right now. I'm gonna give you all I got. Bro need straight defense though.
Ben Simmons might be dirty when he come back. I know y'all saw that video of him dunking. He might-
Yeah, that weak.
He's 6'10". He should be doing that.
You
That's his
sent me
right
that
work.
video, and it was literally like the most basic dunk.
No.
And he was acting so hard after he dunked it.
I
Like,
mean, when you have back problems though, that's not really.
he does not have back problems. That is a lie.
The back control is like literally.
I
underneath
know,
the
That is
body.
such-
listen, bro.
How does he
I
have back
know,
problems?
bro,
He's
out
been sitting
here
on the
thinking,
damn
bro.
bench for a year. The seat's too uncomfortable. Does he sit on like?
See, that I don't know. I don't know the man's
He
personal
does
life.
not have.
If
Just
he
like you
says-
said, he had. I don't. He's.
You think he? I think he was lying about his mental health issues.
I think he was.
Because all of a sudden it got better. But at the same time, if you're in a bad work environment, it can like mess with your
That's
mental.
true, but
And then once you
I
go
mean-
somewhere where you're happy, you can feel a lot better.
Yeah.
This video of Ben Simmons dunking. You was hyped for this?
Yeah.
Go show the camera. Go show
Bro,
the
you know,
camera.
bro, I got you. Hold on.
Go show the camera.
What, Ben, oh,
I
shoot.
mean, I tagged you in the social media in the recent.
It
Yeah.
should be still.
But,
yeah, hold up. Nah. He said go show the camera. I got you.
We can also.
You just like
Yeah.
you get edited in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can for it? Oh, big bet.
I don't know. What else? What else we want to talk about?
Man, I think that's low key kind of it. You got your little bracket out the way, so I know
Yeah.
you was happy. Get your peace thoughts.
I do want to talk about one thing real quick though.
Facts.
So, Marcus Smart, first guard to win it, Defensive Player of the Year since Gary Payton in 1995. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, he just like Kyrie scored 39 on him, so.
On an empty stomach.
Good for Marcus Smart. I got. At least it wasn't Rudy Gobert.
No, to keep it a stack with you though, like it's actually kind of nice to see a guard finally win one.
Yeah, I feel like
because it's
Mikal
kind of
Bridges-
it's really hard because
Mikal Bridges could have won it too. Like.
But yeah, like I feel like a lot of people when they see Defensive Player of the Year, like it's a lot of centers, so they usually look at rebounds and stuff like how many blocks and how many rebounds
Yeah.
did they get.
that's really what they look for.
But you're not taking into account like how the defense changes when they're on the court, like how you're able to lock somebody up,
Or
or
like,
just like ISO ball or something.
You can
like
look
that.
at like opponent's field goal percentage and see what they shoot.
When that person guards
Yeah.
you, I truthfully think it's actually really nice to see again a guard to win it because I guess like in that era back then, like obviously bigs were dominant, and for you to be a shot blocker, blocking like obviously all the big time dunkers and things like that. Versus this generation, like think about having to defend a Steph Curry, a Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, like players like those. And if you're a guard, able to defend players like them or make it tough for them to the point where it's like, oh, when he guards you, you only shooting 49%, but when I put Marcus Smart on you, he's only shooting like 30%. So it's like he's really, and you get steals on top of that. So it's like he's very good at anticipating the defense and stays in the passing lanes. And again, he's locking up your best player. I mean, don't get it twisted. Even if you let Kyrie give you 39, it's Kyrie Irving at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many people.
I was just joking.
Oh, I know what you mean. But like, it's not many people on earth that can try to hold this man to, less than 20 points, unless he's just having an off shooting night on his own. Let alone you're in the Garden, TD Garden, where the fans is trash talking you, so you know there's nothing you could even do to stop him from even getting 30. So the fact that he get a chance to win it between him or Mikal Bridges, I mean, that was either one of them would have been a really good pick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously some good honorable mentions of like some good big men that was even like Bam even played really good defense.
He didn't play enough games though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's definitely was it because I mean him being a shot blocker, even he was getting steals, especially amongst big men. So it's like he's doing multiple things, but for guards to do it, it's been what 25 years? Longer than that, 20,
Gary
27, so 95.
So 95.
So it's been like 27 years,
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
and not a guard has won. And the game, different eras of the game has changed over and over again. So for him to break that little cycle of centers and forwards, it's not a bad pick, man. I think Marcus Smart deserved that one.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, anything else? Any last comments?
Nope.
Man, it looks like guys, we finna be wrapping it up. Appreciate you guys tuning in at 2 Minutes to Go podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at 2 Minutes to Go. I've been your host, Darien,
I'm Jax.
And I'm Jalen.
and we're gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Oh, he been waiting to do that one.
Yeah.